Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good whatever it is, wherever you happen to be. My name's Paul. You've possibly seen one of my daily teasers float across your YouTube timeline recently, at least I hope so. But I'm also well known for talking about TV shows that I've seen. I've just finished watching Star Trek Picard, and I also notably talk about films that I've seen. Tonight, and please remember it's 1:45 on the evening that was a Saturday. But tonight I've seen the 2019 or 2020 Nicolas Cage film that is Colour Out of Space, and I thought I should tell you about it. Let me try and give you a quick summary if I can. The Colour Out of Space is based on the H.P. Lovecraft novel, The Colour Out of Space, and it introduces us to Nathan and Teresa Gardner, Nicolas Cage and Jolie Richardson, alongside their children Lavinia, Benny and Jack, Madeline Arthur, Brendan Mayer and Julian Hilliard, settling into their new home after Teresa has had a mastectomy and is feeling, understandably, quite frail. Nathan, as well as encouraging his wife in her recovery, is hoping to raise alpacas and various assorted vegetables whilst Teresa carries on her job as an investment advisor, all the while cursing the speed of the area's internet connection. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are, or what the movie is, someone will curse the internet connection. At any rate, all of this seems to go well until, on the same day that the family get a visit from hydrologist Ward Phillips, played by Elliot Knight, after he goes, a meteor hits the Gardner family front garden. It hits, it slowly dissolves, and it leaves traces of something leaching into the soil, plants, animals, and slowly into the family well that's fascinating Jack, the youngest member of the family. While all of this goes on, it's only when Teresa, in a fit of distraction with everything that's going on, as well as her own healing, it's only when Teresa slices off her own fingers whilst preparing dinner that things start to get a turn for the worst. Now, just to sum this all up and try and give you some sort of thinking about what I thought of this film. What did I think of Colour Out of Space? Please notice it's called Colour Out of Space. It's not The Colour Out of Space, because that is the name of the book. And it's also the name of the German version I saw a few years ago. Die Farbe was the German title of that one. They are both very good films. Die Farbe, I hope I've got that right. DIE, it's one of the German words for that. The Farbe, Farbe, is a formidably well crafted film. It possibly deserves more than the 2 stars I gave it. I may or may not revise that. I'm not sure yet. I'm not thinking I will. But at any rate, it's a very good film. But my major problem with it at the time was quite simply that Die Farbe, the first half of it dragged quite a lot. It's a great looking modern black and white film with only the colour showing any colour. But that first half for me dragged quite a lot. As wonderful as Die Farbe was, that was an issue for me. By contrast, Colour Out of Space, this 2019 version, it's listed, I should add, as 2019, but I think got an early 2020 release. This version was far much better paced, equally well written, but far more evenly paced and less beefy. It also gave each of the characters a bit more of an individual arc. It shows you Nathan the Nicolas Cage character becoming increasingly angry and increasingly hitting the booze. It shows you Benny repeatedly having to find the farm animals and herd them into the barn, and eventually finding out what happens to them as well, I should add. It shows Lavinia trying ever more frantically to use magic to deal with these things. It also doesn't pull any emotional punches when Teresa and Jack, the Julie Richardson character and the youngest member of the cast, Julian Hilliard, it shows them in the attic coming to a very sad end. And that was far better handled, I think, in Colour of Outer Space than it was in The Fab. I can't fault either movie's use of the source text. Sorry, I think Defab was more of a straight translation of the Colour Outer Space, whilst Colour Outer Space, this version, made very minor changes in its use of the text that nonetheless I felt managed to stay equally as close. It has an aging hermit talking to the man building the reservoir. It has the various members of the family being picked off one by one. It has one of the sons ending up down the well. It's possibly actually truer, Colour Outer Space. From what I recall of Defab, it didn't emphasise the planned reservoir as much as Colour Outer Space did, or the original short story. It was emphasised more in the Colour Outer Space novel and in this film. There's possibly more I could tell you. Differences, comparisons, changes. But I will offer you my opinion at this point. I walked away from both films thinking they were good, but given the choice between the two, I am going to tell you that Fab was great, but that this version, this 2019 Nicolas Cage version of Colour Outer Space, is both the better version of the story and, I think, the better film. Just to tell you, that Fab got 2 stars on my 5-star system. I start at 0, forget it. It goes up to 4 stars. Go see this film now. 2 is firmly in the middle. The Fab got 2 stars. Colour Outer Space, the 2019 Nicolas Cage version, is 4 stars. Go and see it. Thank you for listening to me prattle on. Have a good day. Have a good evening. Happy Easter if you're marking it. Happy Pesach if you're also marking that. And frankly, in case I miss it, I hope if you're celebrating Ramadan, it goes well for you as well. Take care, have fun, be good, and seriously, watch Colour Outer Space.